Not sure why the countdown is kind of wonky, but it is. It says we have 15 minutes till we start, but we're on now. And I got this crazy fly. I'm doing the Aussie salute here. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Expresso on a Friday. It's finally Friday. Of course, in the baseball business, they all sort of feel the same. But anyway, it was a good news Thursday night last night. Run those highlights for you in a moment. And we'll also get you ready for tonight. Game 2 against those Lincoln Salt Dogs and your Sioux City Explorers. Dan Fall, I'm with you, and we're talking X's now, so we can actually bring the that graphic down. Let's there we go. There we go. Let's see here. Hey, how you doing, Katrina? Good to see you as well out there. We are at Hawks this afternoon, this morning. To me, it's morning. It's afternoon for you guys. I got to remember that, for y'all, it's y'all been up for hours, right? But I was up late. Anyway, it's relative, right? Okay, let's see. Howdy from the Inferno. Yes, it's warm down there in Texas. I do know that. Nice here today. 80-ish, something like that. 80-ish, 80 some odd. 80 some odd. I think it's going to be mid-80s today. I think that's the case. As the Vince Fernandez walking in. You never know who you're going to see here, right? You just never know. You never know. Vince walking in. But anyway, okay, what to talk about? Well, last night's ball game for starters. We will run those highlights for you in just a moment. Yes, it's also happy birthday to my mom day. It's Friday, the 21st of July. My mom is like 60 some odd or 50 some, I don't know. I know where she's at, and she's not at home. She's at the Four Winds, I think, which is a fancy casino up there in the South Bend, Michiana area, Mishawaka, or Michiana, the South Bend, Michigan area, Indiana. You do the Aussie salute. You know what that is? The Aussie salute's when a fly comes by, and you see this in Australia. People do this a lot, and I've got one that is, I think he's following me from the house. And he will just do this. Anyway, I'm glad you guys are along here on the Expresso, X's Expresso, here on your Friday. Let me bring that down and bring some graphics up here. We are at the shop as well. Got my cold brew and my almond milk going today. And let's see here. We're coming for you, KC. I don't think they're worried, to be honest with you. But that's not the point, though. I will, you do say that, and I'll just say this. I don't think they'll be caught. I just think the way the math and the way their rotation sets up, even though ours, I think, is better, they just got to do what they're doing. You do what you're doing. I think you'll be right there, their bumper. I don't know if you'll catch them, but you do have some head-to-head with them. I mean, that all could change things dramatically. Winning of the next, which you've got 6 games of them. So if you were to win 4 of those, you'd cut it to a game, correct? Assuming the other math works out. But I think the big thing is do what you're doing and keep winning these series. Just like Mongo said last night, Steve said, split the 4s, win the 3s. And that's sort of the math. And you only have 1 4. That's when this one right here, you have a 4 late, but this is a 4 in your division. This would be a great way to win. And then you've got, again, back-to-back division series coming at you until you go to Gary in the 1st of August. So this is a really good stretch. And if you're doing those baseball math things, which we talk about a lot, you should be fine. I don't know if that'll get you top spot, but I think it'll get you firmly in number 2, especially with the head-to-head you've got with Fargo. And I think that would work out for you. But a lot of baseball left. We won't break it. I kind of broke it down last weekend because Jack Michaels had given me the numbers he had from Fargo. But we'll look at it more as we get closer to the tail end. But I think this is an important stretch, again, with Lincoln, and then you've got, Winnipeg, KC, and then you've got Fargo to wrap up that back-to-back thing going on for the Explorers. So, but Right. That's why you play the games, right? And you go out there and do what you got to do. And you're sitting here in July 20th, 21st, and you've got head-to-heads over Fargo, Kansas City, and your division in Sioux Falls. Only one you don't have is Lincoln, but you lead them by 2 games. So it just sort of it's good right now. And see, the X's come here, right? And Vince is like, there's DV. He's got a camera. I better hide. Vince Fernandez is really, really good dude. And really glad to have him. He's in the highlight reel in a moment. Let's do those highlights. This one fly, it's the Aussie salute. It's because if you go in Australia, you go out. The flies in Australia are like everywhere, and you constantly are doing this. So it's sort of like that today. All right, let's run the highlights from last night. Let me put those up on the screen for you. We'll run the good news highlights from yesterday over. Now, these are not the way I like to have them because for some reason they're not loading into my system, so I'll have to do them a little differently. I don't like doing it this way, but I'm going to work on some things. I thought this had gone away, but apparently it had not. So let me go ahead and press play there, and let's go ahead and roll it from last night, I believe. There we go. And there we are last night. There we go. The highlights from last night. I didn't put the highlight grabbing up. By the way, you hear some audio repeats. It's just the way it's edited. It's not, it's just when they cut them and they cut them again with the audio. And I didn't realize that. I should probably just taken the audio out of there. But highlights from last night. And that's how it looked on a 4-2 winner over the Lincoln Salt Dogs there at Lewis and Clark Park. Hello from now Pontotoc, Mississippi, which is the home of Delvin's Inn, and I believe that would be Reggie's Inn. You've got to be family, right? I mean, you got to be family. Good to see you down there, Mississippi. Love that area, the Magnolia State. I've been through that area a time or two. My wife and I took the train through the Mississippi, going from New Orleans or from Memphis to New Orleans. What was it? 2 winters ago. Went from the Liberty Bowl to the Sugar Bowl. We didn't actually go to the Sugar Bowl. We went down to New Orleans, but I went down beautiful through Mississippi, and really a beautiful area through there. I had a lot of friends that are both on the Ole Miss side and the Mississippi State side. I've got friends from both places, so but cool to see you there down there. His dad, Reggie's dad. Well, I'll tell you this, and something you already know, Reggie, that your son is a fine young man, and one of my favorite things was seeing him. Where were we? I guess it would have been Fargo over the weekend, and it was Fargo. Pretty sure I'm seeing this right, or am I dreaming this? Or was it last homestand? I love seeing him. It was Fargo. It was over the weekend, and he and his daughter were out. And she was kind of toddling around there. They were doing like father-daughter dancing there with the dugout. It was so cute. And I was in the post-game show, and I was talking about the radio, And I wish I'd had the video camera out because it was great stuff. But seeing Delvin being a dad is really, really cool. And I'm sure you know what a great young man he is. Phenomenal, phenomenal young man. The highlights were silent. Well, I was hearing them echo. So anyway, I thought I sort of had this thing worked out before the All-Star break, but apparently the little bugs are back again. It may more or less be my laptop, which is barely holding on. But good to see you, Reggie. Good to have you part of the X's family. So great to have Delvin too, but just a phenomenal young man, and again, just always a smile, always how you doing, and I love to see these guys who are fathers and watching them do their thing. It's really cool. I've known Chase Harris for a number of years. I knew Chase when he was not married and didn't have a kid, and I watched him grow into this fine father and husband, and it's really cool to see what these guys are doing. It's always a fun. Yeah, we love having him here too, and. But the cutest thing, though, I mean, she's kind of, when they're toddling like that, they don't really do much movement. She's sort of I don't know if she's a toddler. She's barely walking, right? I mean, she's sort of standing. And she's just kind of, trying to stay balanced, and Dad's dancing. And it was just a real fun moment on that Sunday there in Fargo. Show is X's Expresso. Dan Vaughn with your voice of the Explorers. Glad you guys are along here. Questions and comments about she is a boy, and there's no doubt she is your princess. Yeah, she's just a sweetheart, little cutie. Just I'm telling you, it's like every time I see her, I'm just like, oh my God, she's incredible. And as a girl dad who's got older ones that have grown up and still very cute, but older. In their 20s now, it takes you back though, but really cool. She is a sweetheart. But glad you guys are along down to Mississippi, and there we go. Great stuff right there. Let's see here. Where we talk? Oh yeah, tonight, game 2. Last night, I want to go through last night quickly. That is really, and we've talked about this a few times. You want to bottle up what you expect to see from Sioux City. That's it. Falling behind is neither here nor there. You fell behind early. I think it was 4th inning, second time through for them. But you also got to their starter as well, second time through. But I think what we saw last night is what you expect. The bullpen, Brochur's really having a real turnaround for him. And he wasn't bad before. He was pretty solid, but he's really been good in that spot. I think you saw the Nate Gherkin we've seen the last couple of times out. He's been really good. Of course, Sean Rakowski has been. I don't know if there's a more reliable reliever in the league right now. I don't know. There may be. I haven't seen him. I'm sure every town's got one, but that's the recipe right there. That is what Sioux City does. 3 runs, 4 runs, 8 runs, and they've got 2. Once you get a lead, once you got it in the 6th inning, things tilt heavily in your favor. Son of the house has got the big advantage in that situation is what happens. Because then you get, Trenton Topakar has gone your 6th. He's nailed it down a quality start. 7th, 8th, 9th, where you've got him set up. Last night, Brocher comes in. Then it's Gherkin and Rakowski. And the game for all practical purposes for Lincoln was over. I mean, yeah, they had a couple runners. They got runners on in 2 of the innings, but it wasn't like one was an infield single that could have very easily been an out. There was that low throw at first, but it wasn't like they were up there hitting the ball at the wall and had corners and nobody out. You had to wiggle off the hook there. I think the X's were well in command, and that's what I've seen time and time again. I was telling someone last night after the ball game, really, that's what I've seen in the other seat. The other seat of the years, sitting in the visiting broadcast spot, watching what Sioux City's done. That's it. That's it. You're not worried about them. You weren't worried about Sioux City scoring any more runs. Your worry is, can you score runs? Right? That's what happens when you're playing the X's, and when that's the way Steve Montgomery sets it up. And he talked about it over the weekend in Fargo. The idea is to get this bullpen healthy, and he's got the options down there. And I think you're seeing that. A couple of things he mentioned yesterday, and I don't know, we talked about it a little bit last night in the air. Let me put a little graphic up here for us. I want a little lower. A little lower third, please. Lower third of the screen. Okay, let's do that. There we go. How about that? Lower third. Mongo talked last night in the pregame about the roster moves, and you've only got the one left-hander down there. Well, last night the X's do go and grab a lefty, bringing in Franklin DaCosta, DACOSTA, young man from Venezuela. He is going to give you some depth on the left side. He's a high leverage guy, and he's going to complement in what you've got already down there. And so you're going to see him in the mix down there. I don't know when you'll see him this weekend, but you're going to see him the next couple of days, and he's going to be a bullpen piece. But what Mongo was talking about, something we've talked about, is to set the bullpen up where you've got basically two platoons, right? You got platoon A, platoon A1, A2, whatever. And it's usually, for example, last night, Brosher, Gherkin, Rakowski. And then maybe if you need a lefty, you've got an option for Diaz. Now you got an extra lefty down there. So DaCosta will be in that mix. Then maybe the other mix is going to be Hasler, DaCosta, and then Rakowski, right? You've kind of got some interchangeable parts. You can move around, and that just shortens the ball game up with some options. And he also mentioned, too, he was hoping to get, and I think this is a big part of it, too. Brandon Brosher is pitching really well right now, and you're going to need that. Gherkin as well. You can get Carlos Diaz some confidence. I've seen Carlos Diaz pitch at a very high leverage level, and where he's been the guy. He doesn't have the all-time saves record for the Kansas City franchise for nothing. Okay, I watched him wiggle out of a jam in Fargo in the championship series 3 years ago. That a lot of guys would have no chance to get out of. So this is a guy that, if Mongo said last night, getting some confidence, that'll be huge. And getting an extra lefty down there, DaCosta will take some of the pressure off Diaz and let him sort of find himself. Which he pitched pretty good over the weekend. He had a really good outing against Fargo. But again, you're trying to build that bullpen. It's something I've talked about, and I can't tell you how many times I've said this on the air in previous stops, where I would say Steve Montgomery just gets a lot of arms in that bullpen, puts them all together, and sorts them out as he goes along, but he has the depth down there, right? And he's able to use that depth to lock a game down. And you've seen it time and time again, and you're seeing it right now. And the bullpen's been pretty good. It helps have a rotation that's doing what the rotation is doing. You've got a rotation that, that when it has a bad outing or even a not quite quality start, you're kind of surprised. 3 earned runs or less has been the calling card more times than not for this bunch. And, with doesn't matter which way they come on the shoe, but, Bates, top of the card, Drury, those three. Now, granted, you have Weatherby on the shelf and Verberg on the shelf. Although Mitchell's here, I did see him running yesterday, and he looks to be better. I didn't chat with him. I didn't have a chance to talk to him, but from what I understand, that he is much better. And we talked about this before. If you're going to get something from Verberg or Weatherby, any something from them, that's a huge thing going forward. And suddenly the deep rotation you've got, 3 solid arms, you've got 5 to choose from. And as we start thinking down the road about playoffs, 3-game series is what these are, basically, the best 3. You throw your best 3 arms out there, you're going to have a really good chance to win a series. I don't care if you score 5 runs, 2 runs, 6 runs, 100 runs. You get the better starting pitcher, you're going to win the series. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. So anyway, all right, where were we here? I don't see any questions, but you guys are going to fire away here. Tonight, Drury going tonight. I thought what he did Sunday in Fargo was at no point from the 3rd inning on, and once the X's got a lead, did anybody in that ballpark have any misconceptions that Fargo was going to come back? They weren't coming back. Drury was in control. He shut them down when he left the ball game, and the team had a 7-2 lead. A 7-1 lead, pardon me, 7-1 lead. I did his numbers, 1. And, suddenly you just got to get, 3 more innings. 2 more innings, and you're done. And that's what happened. It was candy bar at the door, like to say. Tonight is the Aussie salute. Good on you, mate. Tonight, gates open at 6. Of course, we or the pregame at 6:35, and then of course 7:05 tonight. Drury, and I had this up. Let me pull this up for you real quickly here because I didn't have it quite finished. It Abdallah Aris, 3-2 and a 4.70. We saw him in relief and not started against it. We saw him in relief. I believe it was his debut or second ball game for Lincoln. So that pair of lefties tonight going in this one. Tomorrow it's going to be Holmberg and TBA, and then Salmon Bates will be going on Sunday against Zach Keenan. I think the game notes may have been wrong, but that's the plan for the X's. Now, by the way, one more thing last night that happened that we probably should touch on was the standings, because last night's win put you alone in second place. Now, how long you stay there is another issue, but you're only 5 back of Kansas City. They're 36 and 22. You're 32 and 28. Quick, who has the third most wins in the American Association? Quick, anybody? That's right, your X's. Milwaukee's got 36. KC's got 36. Then it drops off to 32. And then you got a couple in Cleveland and in Fargo with 30. You got 2 more wins than those 2 clubs. Pretty impressive, right? I would say. 32 and 28, you're 5 back. Fargo's 30 and 27. They're 5.5 back, but they've also got, they got to make up some games. They got a doubleheader looming. I believe that one comes up, I think, next week. I think that's right. I'll have to double check that. I haven't really paid attention to it. Lincoln 29 and 29. They're back to 500. They're 7 back, 2 behind you. And then it's Sioux Falls still lurking the wings. Sioux Falls now has found themselves 3 games out of the playoff hunt. That's the closest they've been in a while. I think the closest they've been previous was 4. They've been 4, 4.5, 5, 6, somewhere there. But now find themselves 3 games behind Lincoln. And then 13 and a half back for Winnipeg. They are 6.5 back behind Lincoln. And still both very mathematically alive here, but the top 4 teams, but suddenly Lincoln's in a situation where they're trying to catch you, but also, even though they have a tiebreaker, they've got Sioux Falls in their bumper. And a couple losses this weekend, a couple Sioux Falls wins. Anyway, so standings right there. Yes, very much in it. Very much in it. No, there's no doubt. I mean, no doubt. I mean, you're 5 back. Remember, the top 2 teams in the division get to, well, first off, the top team, being Kansas City, is going to pick who they want to play of the other remaining teams. They're going to naturally probably going to take the closest road trip, which for them at the moment would be Lincoln, which will leave you in Fargo to play in round 1. But that's still a long way off. Top 2 teams get those calls. And last year it really went along the lines of distance. But anyway, all right. Yes, we are in it. Seriously, we are. Seriously, we are in it. Exactly. Seriously, we are in it. We are in it. We are in it. Expresso or Ad Hocs here in Sergeant Bluff. They are great partners of ours. Love these folks. I'm here every day. Again, when you see ball players come in here, I mean, Vince Fernandez, Salmon comes in here. These guys love this place. It's great stuff. I thought Austin might swing by today. He was telling me he was going to, but I did not see him yet. Oh, he could have been earlier. Very well, could have been earlier. All right, questions, comments. We'll take them from you a couple minutes here. No show tomorrow. It's Saturday. But then I've got an idea for a show on Monday. Now, Monday, we're going to be on the road, on the bus. But I'm tempted. What do you guys think about this? I'm tempted to open up the browser, open the camera up, and say, hello, everybody, we're on the bus. Would that be something you guys want to see? Or would that be boring? We'd be somewhere probably just south of Fargo. We wouldn't be to Canada yet, so that'd be good. It's an idea. I might just come on and say, hey, everybody, here's a little quick 5-minute snippet of what we're doing. A special edition. Hello, everybody, wave, and then that'll be it. We won't do a whole show, but I think it'd be worthwhile going live and just showing you guys, hey, this is life on the bus on the way to Winnipeg. Love the bus idea. Of course you do. Reggie says that'd be cool. And W40 says, love the idea. Maybe we'll do it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, that's an idea. I don't know if we'll mic. I've got mics. I can mic a couple people up, but I imagine just it'd probably be me. And then I think behind me, I think the last couple trips has been Hasler or Sanford, and then across the way is Vince. Right in front of me will be Bruce. And then to my left will be Josh Hines and Mongo and Bobby will be the front row. But it'd be something fun. I mean, bouncing around the highways and byways of the North Dakota. There's that. So, yeah, we may do that. We may do that on Monday. Then Tuesday, Winnipeg, it's always tricky because doing the show there, it's obviously international, all that. You got to find a good place with Wi-Fi, and that's always a challenge because there's some places that happen, some places don't. But I have a couple joints that I do know of that will do it. And one of them is there in the hotel. Right there in the corner where we're at is a coffee shop, and players come and go, and might be able to grab somebody in the interview as well. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're back home on Friday next week. Again, it's going to be division bunkmates, 4 in a row. But anyway, that's all I got today, really. Oh, I've got one more thing. Yeah, I forgot about this. I almost forgot about the play last night. What am I doing? There's one more play last night. Tyler Rando last night made a play over the wall. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Pardon me just a moment. Let me pull this up and show it to you guys. This should have already loaded in, but hopefully. Okay. Let's see here. Let's share this screen. Oop. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this back. I'll run it back for you guys. Last night, the 7th inning, really great play for Tyler Rando. This is really good stuff. So let me share this with you guys. Here we go. This is last night. This is the 7th inning. Pull this up. I'm going to play it to you at normal speed, then I'll play it for you in slow-mo. So here we go. This was last night. This is Tyler Rando. Look at this play. Promise. And watch Delvin get over to help him out there. But again, this one, and I wasn't sure. He was running out of room there. Goes right over the top of that fence. I think even the pants came unbuckled too. See, the buckle gets caught right there. He gets turns over, and Delvin jumps over to help him, holding on to it. Outstanding play. Let's run it back again. You want to see it again? Let's see it again. Let's see it again. Let's go one more time from the top. From the top. Let's go. Wow. Look at the reaction of the bullpen. They're like, what? What? Here he is, slow motion. And Rando getting over. I knew he had at least arm's length, but his arm was over the fence when he made the play. Outstanding. And Del was right there to help him up. That was last night there in the 7th inning. Great work there for Tyler Rando and Delvin there to help him up. Great work last night. And great camera work, too, from the folks there in AA Baseball TV. Boy, Matt's got a great crew down there. Matt Townley, he's phenomenal with his, the little engine down there. We're a little Sioux City, and we put on a really big league production. And the crew doing a great job. Austin down there directed the last 3 innings. Young Luke's been a great addition as well. That entire crew down there, Alyssa, everybody down there did a great job there. Yeah, it was that was commitment, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But that was last night. Tonight, chance to take number 2, and really, there's an opportunity here, not only to stay in second, but really separate Lincoln from you. You'd love to. I mean, it would be great to get a 4-game lead over Lincoln after the weekend. That'd be pretty big. And it's right there for you. If you could win, a couple more ball games in the series and win 3 or 4, that'd be huge. That'd be huge. You'd have a 4-game lead over them going into Monday and the off day. All righty. Again, tonight's a broadcast time beginning at 6:35 on AA Baseball. And, of course, it's kind of, is it really our flagship? I guess it's our flagship because really KSCJ is the flagship. It's the station. I mean, it's a radio broadcast. We carry it on A Baseball TV, but we are home on KSCJ. You're home for X's Baseball, home and away all year long. Good folks there, Pound Broadcasting. Love what they do there. Let's get closer. Let's get closer. Someone in my household is pretty passionate about wanting to beat Kansas City. I'm going to tap my brakes a little bit there, but anyway. I'll just leave it at that. But there we go. KSCJ tonight, 6:35, and then on the air. And the first pitch at 7:05 tonight there from Mercy One Field at Lewis and Clark Park. And, of course, tickets available at xsbaseball.com or right now they're at the box office. Folks are standing by. They're there. I'm sure they're all just waiting to go. And they're probably right now taking care of customers anyway. It's what they do. And, of course, suite rentals, group nights, picnics, whatever. You can also contact us, xsbaseball.com. Give us a call, whatever you want to do. Come and see us. We'll hook you up. I guarantee you we'll hook you up. And tonight on the broadcast, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I will share with you on the broadcast at some point, the passing of Tony Bennett today. I don't know if you guys saw that. I will share you my one-on-one with him. I had about 3 hours with him one time, and I'll share that story tonight on the broadcast because I did sit in an aluminum tube with him for 3 hours back in the day. I was a very young man then. I remember most of it, though, but talk about that tonight on the broadcast. All right, you guys ready for some 1, 2, 3, go X's? I'm ready. You're ready? We're all ready. Are we ready? Are we ready? We ready for live? Again, live from Hawks. Should probably put that up too. Live from Hawks. Let's do this one. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go X's. I'll see you in the broadcast. Not everybody.